absolute madness in Dallas. Says 50 states of happiness is what USA is going to be feeling right now. It's taken a super over to separate Pakistan and USA. That's what we've witnessed. We're back at Cricbuzz Live. Lots to talk about. I've got DK and Joyda in the house. Joyda, Saurabh Netravalkar, the boy, the Mumbai boy, comes and saves it for America. It's incredible what he's done.
Absolutely. A Gujarat boy sets it up with a 50. A Mumbai boy finishes it off. And then the Gujarat boy takes a brilliant catch in the last over to make sure that that victory is sealed. It's been absolutely fantastic cricket. And just to see them, you saw them, they were reaching close, and then you felt that, their lack of experience at this level, the Pakistani bowlers don't do well. But that last over, the way they somehow managed to claw back, get that 4 in the last, I thought they were totally nerveless. To hit a ball, 4 of the last ball, it took something. And I'm just so proud of this young team. It's fantastic watching them.
DK, before we get to what Saurabh's done, because I know you've known of him, he's played under Zach, just wanted to understand from the keeper, what was Rizwan doing? Because there were 3 wides, they've run of 3 wides, they're crucial runs if you go to see.
I think it's been a very, very ordinary performance from Pakistan. The moment the ball changed in the second innings when they bowled and they got that good ball, which they were able to find reverse so quickly, and even after that, if they're not able to pull the game back, and then the super over, such a clumsy super over with the ball, just the number of balls that they bowl, the wides, all of them going for extra runs. A, some ordinary bowling from Amir rather, and B, must say Rizwan could have removed his gloves and be ready, knowing that they're looking to run every time a wide is bowled. The only thing that I can think of, because the outfield wasn't great, he was trying to give extra protection, but some of it would give competition to village cricket. And we've all seen a few videos on social media, and it wasn't great viewing. And I don't think a lot of the Pakistani fans are going to be happy. But in the same vein, well done, USA. I just wish their country notices there is a sport which is slowly but steadily growing, thanks to a lot of people from other countries coming in. But they're making America proud. I know it's not been a pretty picture in New York, but in Dallas tonight, they'll be very, very happy.
This is the endorsement that America needed for cricket, Joyda, because this is exactly what everyone, all the spectators are going out to watch, which we've not seen in New York, but what we've seen in Dallas has just been remarkable.
Absolutely. And they're wearing an Indian sponsor's brand out here on their leading arm. But no, absolutely. And I think, when they saw that match against Canada, if you've been watching that match against Canada, it's big total, 190 to chase 190 in a World Cup encounters. And they did it with ease in Aaron Jones, the number of 6s, 10 6s that he hit. But this is a different entity altogether. You're talking about a Pakistan bowling attack. And when they came in those last 4 overs, they seemed to have strangled them. Mohammad Amir, vastly experienced bowlers, they just tightened the screws. The fact that they managed to fight back, make it a super over, and then finish it off is absolutely fantastic. And that's what is important. Had they won the match from where Monank Patel was batting, you would have said that, okay, in the momentum, they got through. They had the reverses, they looked as if they were going to lose it, they clawed back and they won it. And that's going to stand them in very, very good stead.
And DK, this is huge on their confidence, because Monank Patel, their captain, said after their first game against Canada, he said that we will play this aggressive brand of cricket. Whoever the opponent is, be it India, be it Pakistan, this is the brand of cricket we're going to play. And they were playing fearless cricket today.
They were playing fearless, and let's be honest, they played better in terms of batting, bowling, definitely the fielding. They'd be so proud of their effort. They took some lovely catches right up to the last catch that was taken in the super over. That was such a massive difference. Pakistan were very ordinary in all 3 facets of the game today, and there'll be a lot of introspection done. It's one thing lacking skill, or one thing not bringing your skill to the party, but fielding is a skill that as a team, you need to be on it. This has been a case for Pakistan for some time now. And it is just, the beauty is about Pakistan, they could from here find a way to turn things around and have such a good tournament that you would never believe that a match like this happened, when 3 weeks later when things turn around. But for the moment, they need to work really hard to turn things around, because I genuinely believe they lack confidence. They're not playing as a team, and they're not doing the basics right, which is very, very hard. And they had a lot of things going their way, especially with the ball reversing, which is something that they're so good at doing. Even after that, if they're not able to stop a team like America, then they really need to look deep inside and figure out what needs to be done.
Also, Joyda, yesterday GK and I think Viru, they called it, and they said that Nitish Kumar is a name that has to be there for the team to play. He's going to be the game changer, and he clearly
exactly.
was.
I said it also.
Yes, that 4 that he hit.
Another Nitish Kumar changing it. The other thing about this Nitish Kumar is, you know what? This Nitish Kumar was playing for Canada in 2019 in the first match, and then he changed to the US. So this Nitish Kumar also changes sides at the right time and does everything. So there's a history there as well. So it's fascinating. No, but I mean, really, really creditable performance. And I was just thinking, if you go back to this match, when is this match really change? Harry Stoff comes in for the last over needing 14. He's defending 14. The first 3 balls go for 3 runs. Then Aaron Jones hits a 6, takes a single, and then Nitish Kumar hammers that last ball for 4.
Yes.
So 11 of the last 3, that was really the difference, because they had really pulled it back well. They'd put the brakes on it. There wasn't, after the 16th over, there wasn't another boundary till that 6 was hit. And then they hit 2 boundaries in the last 3 balls. And that's remarkable strength of resolve of mind, you know. They're just holding your nerve and saying, I'll get the ball. Sooner or later, I'll get the ball I want to hit.
But DK, were you surprised with who Pakistan sent in the super over? Because we know that Shadab looked good with the bat today. So were you surprised with who they sent?
No, not at all. A right-left combination was a right combination. Iftikhar Ahmed is picked in the tournament as a finisher for them, and he was the right player for them. He's done it time a dozen times for his franchisee in PSL and for Pakistan. So those decisions were correct. And Shadab coming in at 3 is again a correct decision. But I did think the over that Mohammad Amir bowled, even though the ball was reversing, yes, there was one side of the field which was big, but he's got so much skill. For him not to do the basics of getting his line right really cost them. Add to the fact that they were running 4 wides, made it even tougher. 20 is a very steep score to be chasing in a super over. That's almost half that over you need to get for 6s, and that's a lot of pressure on the batters. And Saurabh Netravalkar bowled a half-decent over. He still managed to win it comfortably for them.
I liked one more thing, which was, you know, the great thing about this US side also is they don't care about reputation. So they're going by form. Under these circumstances, you know, who do you come send to bat up in the order, okay? When you've got, you know, runs in the last few overs required, you think, okay, who's my most experienced batter in my 11? You'd go with Corey Anderson.
Yes.
They didn't. They went with the form batter. They thought Nitish Kumar was a form batter. They went with him. Again, when the super over came, who walks out? Again, Aaron Jones and Harmeet Singh walk out. So they are very clear. They are not going by reputation. Whoever seems to be hitting the ball well, whoever can do the job. And I like it. That means they have confidence in all their players. They're not saying, okay, he's played some more international cricket, let's give it to him.
Yes.
And I like the way that they're approaching this. You know, it's a really refreshing, it's a team that believes in itself more than anything else.
Team that believes in itself and also clearly has a plan that they know that they're going to stick to, because like I mentioned earlier, he said we want to play fearless cricket, but there is clearly a plan they're coming out with. Let's have a look at that batting card. It did go to the super over, but it was also some very sensible batting, DK, that we saw. Steven Taylor got out early on 12, but then we saw the captain Monang Patel and Goose kind of really set it up very intelligently for America.
They played like they were pros. They were someone who knew how to chase down a total. And I say that because between over 7 and 11, there were plenty of singles they were taking. They were very comfortable with the asking rate going to 9 and 10. And when it came to that stage where they didn't lose a wicket, it was kind of the template that we spoke about. One of the top order batsmen batting through, and they did that beautifully. But once they got their 50, they just kept playing shots. And it was a very good partnership between Monank and Goose, and then followed up by Aaron Jones. I thought all 3 of them batted with a lot of sensibility through the 20 overs. Yes, once the ball changed, things changed for Canada. Otherwise, I think they were cantered through in this chase, which shows that they're a very confident team, one that is well coached by Stuart Law. They are playing some really good and attractive cricket.
But also that second wicket partnership, Joyda, we spoke about it a little bit in the comm box, and we have to talk about that 6 that Monang Patel hit. I think it was to Naseem. Beautiful 6 straight down the ground. It's just a delight for any cricket fan.
Class batter. Class batter. He looked a class batter. He looked to have so much time. And that's the point that, you know, normally when you see associate countries playing against top level countries, bowlers bowling at 140, 145,
Yes.
swinging the ball. You don't see this level of comfort out there. And I thought they did beautifully again till the ball started reversing right towards the end. Till then, they had that chase under total control. And I love the way this was the partnership. This was the partnership that changed matters. And they set it up so well that even that, towards the end when this chokehold was applied by the Pakistan bowlers, the target was not big enough for them to be able to stop them to reach a super over.
DK, Monang Patel, the captain, leading from the front, like Joyda said, absolute, like a classy knock from him. Very smart. It didn't look like he was being dominated by this lethal Pakistani bowling card because he looked like he was in complete control all through.
Yeah, 65% of his runs coming in boundaries tells you that he's got good skill. And we're talking about him batting against good fast bowlers. And he did it comfortably. Good player over covers for spin as well. He's got good areas. And being a keeper, the one shot that all of us do play is the sweep shot, which again is something that he does well. Overall, what was really impressive was his conviction to take the game deep. He didn't give it away that easily. Even though the ball was swinging, there was speed. Just like what Joyda said, they were bowling sharp. He found a way to stay there, believe that he could be the guy to take the team through. And that shows that as a leader, he wants to be the guy taking the team across the line, which is always good. He didn't manage to do it. That's a different story. But he believed he could do it. And that really shows a man of good qualities that people will respect.
Joyda also very well supported on the other end by Goose. We saw that he was playing very aggressive cricket. He was wanting to take on the likes of Naseem, Haris Rauf. We saw him attacking them, which was very impressive.
Absolutely. And his shots over the offside, lofted shots over cover, piercing the offside field. He's an aggressive batter. And I think they complemented each other perfectly. Nobody put anyone else under pressure, and that run rate 7.5 they kept going at. So they kept the Pakistan, they never allowed the run rate to run away. So towards the end, even when extra pressure was applied, the run rate was still not out of control totally.
And then, of course, Aaron Jones comes in. We know what he did against Canada, those 10 sixes. He again hit those beautiful slog sweeps, which went for a 6. So he was doing what he likes doing, that slog sweep.
Yeah. The key shot for me was when the ball was reversing, 19.4, hitting that 6 of Haris Rauf. It's a very tough shot to play because the ball was swinging late. Haris Rauf has got pace and he was getting the ball to dip in nicely. But still hold his position and get that ball over deep mid-wicket was a very, very good shot. And that pretty much helped them get close to the total before Nitish Kumar finished off. So again, a knock which tells you that, yes, he's a very strong leg side player, but he is also one who is willing to take the game deep, which is a good attribute to have as a middle order batter.
Joyda, we'll have a look at the bowling card for Pakistan. They did pull things back from the 16th over onwards, but up until then, it just didn't look like that fiery Pakistani bowling we know them to have.
Yeah, Shaheen went wicketless. Look, there was a couple of chances. Remember, one ball just burst through the slips because they positioned their slipper as a second slip, as a convention. So ball went, just bisected them. But, Shaheen, after that first couple of overs, I was not particularly impressed by his second spell. But Mohammad Amir actually looked really good, in control towards the end. Haris Rauf was a disappointment. And I think Haris Rauf is somebody who they really depend upon in the death overs. And he's really not done the job for them today. So there's a lot they have to think about. I think they'll go back. There's a lot to... For me, Naseem Shah was a pick of the bowlers. He bowled well today. He got the wicket, which was, nice set batter wicket. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things they'll look at. Fielding perhaps is one of the things. But also the way they sort of bowled today wasn't... This is not the top-class bowling attack that we expect from Pakistan.
DK, also the body language when Pakistan were in the field, we could see that Babar was very, very unhappy. I mean, you could just see the shoulders drooping and very early on, like in the 8th and 9th over. So not something which comes from a team that has so much experience under their belt.
There is a certain body language, Saimi, when you're looking to win, when you're desperate for a win. I don't think Pakistan had that today, let's be honest. I do think just the body language when Iftikhar let that one go at slip, when wickets fell, the way they were just walking to greet each other instead of running and making it look like now they're back in the game, let's do something special. That fire in the belly, as they would say, those things are very, very important. And these are signals that you give to opponents who are watching you on screen. There was a lot of ordinary bowling, but also backed up with some very, very ordinary body language in terms of the belief. And let's just say maybe they were at times sure that they could win, but definitely the body language suggested that they weren't very sure about what was happening on the field. Every time a wicket fell, you could just see they just congregated like it was a formality rather than
Yes.
making it look like now is our moment to come back in the game. There is a certain there is a certain body language associated with that, and I don't think I saw it today. And those will be the areas that they need to, in many ways get right, because what Joyda was saying in the pre-show as well, in Pakistan at times you don't know how much they're talking amongst themselves, and when you see things like this happen, that's when you really start doubting that.
Absolutely, Joyda. Don't you think so? That it didn't look like a team that was playing together.
Yeah.
It didn't feel
It
cohesive.
didn't look like a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
Look, but that's Pakistan. They might magically come together in the next match and everything will be forgotten. So you don't know. It's that kind of a team. But on today's performance, the scary part of it is that now their future is not in their hands. Their future, they can only ensure the future if they beat India.
Correct.
If they beat India, then I think situation will get really interesting. But if they don't beat India, then things are going to be very, very
So let's just have a look at the points table, because now if they beat India, they'll still have to depend on net run rate. Is that correct?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, let's assume for one moment Canada loses all its matches from here on. So Canada loses to India, Canada loses to Pakistan. Okay, now if India beat Pakistan, then they'll be 2-1. USA will be 2-1. Okay, and assuming India beats USA, and you could have a situation where 3 teams could be on, in that situation. So it's
3 teams on 4 is where we could land up.
Yeah, so that's the thing, and Ireland is also in the mix. So it's an interesting situation right now. Pakistan has to beat India. It has to beat India to be sure.
Yes.
If not, their fate is in other teams' hands and run rate.
DK, the big game, India versus Pakistan. Pakistan obviously will be very low on confidence when they go into the big game. That's not how they would have liked to start their World Cup campaign. But what would their lessons from today be?
For a start, understand the pitch before you decide to
Which is going to be
play
very
shots
tough in
on it.
New York, actually.
True.
And that's going to make it even tougher. That pitch is not an easy pitch. Obviously, ICC has come out with a statement saying they're working on it to make sure it can be as good as it can be. They're trying to clamp down the grass as close to the surface as possible so that there's not much uneven bounce. All that is okay. But Pakistan need to really sharpen their attitude on the field. They need to make sure when they bat, they try and bat deep and not lose too many wickets. Maybe at the 15-over mark, they need to be around the 3-wicket mark. Then they can maximize the last 5 overs because of the combination that they're playing, where they're very light on their batting. So they have plenty to ponder about. It'll be a couple of tough nights for them. But let's just say this as well. Pakistan is a team that is very mercurial in nature. They can come back and do something really special. And let's all hope it'll be a good game, because India is Pakistan. The one thing the fans want is 2 good teams fighting against each other.
Well, Joyda, we know they're very unpredictable and they can turn around overnight. We've seen them do that. But do you expect to see a lot of changes against India?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think they will be looking at, for example, Saim Ayub to come back in the top order, because I think Azam Khan has really not done it for them. And I really don't see him playing another match, and at least not right now. And if that is the case, then that is one change that will come. If Imad Wasim is by any chance fit, but I don't think a side strain will solve so fast. But if Imad Wasim is fit, they will definitely play him. But unlikely still. It doesn't look like he's likely to get back in 2 days' time.
So I've been told that Babar Azam in the post-match had a lot of things to say about today's game. He said first 6 overs while batting, we didn't capitalize. Back-to-back wickets always put you on the back foot. As a batter, you need to step up and build partnerships. We were not up to the mark in the first 6 overs. Our spinners also did not take wickets, so these things cost us. DK, what do you make of this? Does it seem like he's being a little underconfident as a captain to, pretty much say that nothing really worked out for us today?
as a leader, you have to find a way to be very diplomatic in press conferences and post-match ceremonies, and somehow find a way to back your players. Inside the four walls in the dressing room, you can say what you want and have a go at a few people, but you need to find a way to back those players. It's one thing being honest, but it's also one thing trying to understand what the dynamics of your team are. He's just newly appointed as a captain. A lot of the players are vulnerable right now, and he needs to back them. He needs to be saying things like, yes, it was a bad day. Probably we could have done certain things better, but we will make sure that we will, once we get on a roll, we have some special players. That's the kind of language to state things like we didn't play the first 6 overs well, we lost too many wickets. It is stating the obvious, which most people know, but also if you're one of the Pakistan players, reading it, which they will be, it feels like he's letting you down. And the way he's conducted himself on the field, where he's having a go at some of the bowlers when boundaries go, or his shoulders dropping, isn't the sign of a good leader. I think he needs to find a way to have a body language which suggests that he's okay with what is happening and they can still come around. And that's something that you need to possess. Yes, showing disappointment is fine, but there's a way to show it where the players don't get even more nervous than what they are on the field already.
And especially when the next game is going to be that big game, so you don't want this extra pressure from your own captain.
Yeah, and it's not that if he's talking about first 6 overs, he's mostly culpable as well. He was the informed batter who lasted through those 6 overs and just couldn't get going. The other thing is, you're talking about spinners. Spinners have bowled 4 overs for you. Shadab has bowled 3. So to say that they didn't get wickets when you've got your elite fast bowlers are not getting wickets is just a bit much. I mean, Shadab just had 3 overs to bowl and Ifti bowled 1 over. So look, all round, as I said, a little disappointing from the captain, but they have 2 days now to sort out their game, and who knows what can happen 2 days later.
Well, it's just been one of those days that is pretty hard to believe what has happened. So let's just have a look at what happened today. 159 is what Pakistan got in their 20, and then of course it was tied at 159, and it went into a super over, second super over of this World Cup. So this World Cup has already become very exciting, but of course the first big upset in this World Cup is what we've witnessed. We should now move on to what's happening tomorrow, because we're getting a whole lot of exciting games. Tomorrow is going to be Canada versus Ireland, and this is match number 13 at New York. I think they're going to be a whole lot of eyeballs onto that New York outfield, onto that New York pitch, because that's been the massive topic of discussion. Like DK said, the ICC has also clarified with regards to them working on it, but lots going to be spoken about what this pitch has to offer tomorrow.
Absolutely, and Indian supporters will be looking at this match very carefully just to see the pitch.
I think Team India is going to be sitting and watching this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. They'll be watching this pitch, but it's an important game because Canada is a good team. It's a decent team. They swept their preliminaries from their region and the Americas region, because USA was obviously an automatic qualifier. They beat Bermuda. So they're a decent team. They put up, remember, 190 in the last match, more than 190 in the last match, and still lost. So they will be thinking that Ireland is one team, because the USA, that opportunity is gone. Ireland is one team. They might think they have an opportunity again. So it's going to be a good match. And Ireland must think, as a test-playing nation, we've got to put these guys away.
DK, both these teams want to get those 2 points because both of them have lost their first 2 games. So both of them will be wanting to get off the mark tomorrow.
Oh, without a doubt. And both teams, Canada had a better game. They batted big, and USA out-batted them on that day, whereas Ireland, they just couldn't get going. It was a pitch where no matter what they did, they couldn't put bat to ball, and it was a really hard pitch to bat on. Very experienced batters from India struggled, so you can understand Ireland, who play much lesser cricket. But I can say that Ireland start as favourites for tomorrow. They have a team that is very well-rounded, and they bat deep. They've got a bowling attack which will definitely trouble Canadian batters. So it's going to be a game where Ireland have to come to the park and believe that they can do something very special, which they've been doing for some time in associate cricket. And, if you do look at the names there, Lachlan Tucker is a guy who can definitely get runs there. And I'm very confident that Curtis Camphor will be having his say with the ball too. He bowled brilliantly, even though just the 1 over against India. Yeah,
they have Josh Little as well, who's pretty dangerous.
He didn't have the best of the game, so he'll want to come back stronger.
Paul Sterling again. And see, that's it. Whatever it is, they're a test-playing nation. They have a lot of, at this point in time, they have the kind of batters and bowlers who can threaten. And you look at the other side, Canada is much younger, a team which is much more experienced. So out here, the players, Saad bin Jafar, he's the captain, very experienced all-rounder, does everything for them. Watch out for Dylan Heiliger. He doesn't bowl very quick, 125, 130, but he whacks the ball at about 230, 235. That means he's one of their power hitters down the order, very important for them. Kaleem Sana, left-arm bowler. He's actually got Babar Azam out in a match many years back, 10 years back. Kaleem Sana is a left-arm quick for them. Again, watch out for him. Nikhil Datta was their leg spinner, again of Indian origin, but Nikhil Datta had a disappointing last match, so maybe he'll make way. But all in all, they have that power is also up front. Dhaliwal, Curtin are the guys who they really depend on their batting.
They also had a good game against...
Yeah, and Dhaliwal got 61 in the last match, got them off to a good start. So they will fancy their chances and they'll say before the big guns like India and Pakistan, can we just get some points against Ireland?
So your players to watch out.
The one thing for Ireland as well, Saimi, is Harry Tector got hurt. It didn't look that great. He got hit on the helmet. So need to see what's the situation there in terms of concussion, whether he's fit to play tomorrow. He's a very key batter for them. Bats at number 4. And he would have been my player to watch out for. But because I don't know whether he's going to be playing or not, I'm going to go with the tried and tested Lochin Tucker. He's young, but again, he's played a little bit of franchisee cricket and he looks like a batter who knows how to get his runs.
And for Canada?
I will definitely look at Saad bin Jafar. I believe that he has the skills to, he brings all the 3 facets of the game to the table. So he's an experienced guy as well. So I'm pretty confident that if he has a good game, Canada will again post a good fight against Ireland.
Joyda, for you.
Navneet Dhaliwal up front, big important player for them. He's got a 50 in the last match in form, played really well in the qualifiers as well. He needs to stand up. And the other side, again, Sterling. Sterling is a quality player. He would probably play test matches for other countries as well. And I think he needs to really put in a performance. This is important for Ireland because the last match, the way they got out, they would be disappointed in the score they got, It's not a matter of losing to India. It's getting shot out under 100 is not something they'd like. No matter how bad the pitch was. I think they went a bit early. And I think they'll be telling themselves this time, don't go so early. Take your time. It's still going to happen.
All right, so we hope for another exciting game tomorrow. Before we go to the joy factor though, I want to go to a little retro reel. Yeah. Retro reel because the fan and me, we have DK here. We have to ask him. I still remember that bowl out so clearly, DK. We've seen another super over today. Pakistan clearly don't like their super overs. They've played 4 and just won 1 out of their 4. But can you kind of just take us through what happened? Any special memories that we've not heard of so far?
For a start, it wasn't a super over then, it was a bowl out.
Yes, bowl
out. For India, almost was bowled. And India were very clever. We had a head start because we realized that a bowl out could be happening if required. And a lot of the bowlers inadvertently post-practice, a lot of the players were just practicing hitting the stumps. And Robin Uthappa was one very interesting. He, in fact, used to just bowl. Venkatesh Prasad was the bowling coach, and he went and said, let me just bowl, and if I can hit the stump, why not? So he kind of kept practicing. I remember Durman, there was a practice session post, it was raining a bit. They just went and started hitting the stumps. Virendra Sehwag was just a instinctive call at that stage, but Robin Uthappa went and asked Dhoni that he wants to bowl, and Dhoni said, go ahead with it. And Dhoni did something very clever there. What he did was he just went and stood bang behind the stumps. Yes. Generally, when you have a visual cue like that, it always helps to bowl better. It also tells you the presence of mind that the man had. I always find that very special.
But Joyda, just such a special memory because it's also new for us. But clearly, again, the mastermind of Dhoni had thought it through.
No, also that, the fact that India had practiced, Pakistan hadn't practiced, and you saw the way Umar Gul bowled, Shahid Afridi bowled, none of them hit the stumps. Yasser Arafat, all of them missed the stumps. And I think the way India bowled and last when, Uthappa doffed his cap, that's something. Is, some memories stick with you. That memory will just stay with us for a long, long time.
Yes. Well, this was our retro reel because we have Joyda and DK in the house. But now we need to have a look at Mr. Joy Bhattacharya's question for the day. I think it has some relation with Pakistan. Let's have a look.
Former cricketer Bob Woolmer was the only person to be physically present during 2 famous landmarks. Which 2? And one of them happened on 6 June 1994. Brian Lara got 501. and Hanif Mohammed got 499 and then got run out of the last ball. And it's amazing because Bob Woolmer's father was in Karachi. He was a merchant. He used to work on various stuff. So Bob Woolmer was at the ground out there.
Oh, wow.
And of course, he was at the ground in Warwickshire as well, when this happened. So fantastic to watch both moments like that is absolutely amazing, you know.
Wow, that's quite a story. Of course, DK and I had no clue to this answer, but let's have a look at who got the answer correct and who got it the quickest.
I haven't seen this name before. Well done, Saket Chemuru. It's a good answer. And it's an interesting answer. I mean, the fact that two such things can happen and one person be physically there. Because you can never predict when these things happen. You know, you always know when a final happens.
Yes.
But you know, somebody's going to get 500, how do you know? And in fact, one of the Mohammeds, I think it was Hanif or Mushtaq, I think one of them was there in the UK, in Birmingham, when Lara was close to 450.
Oh.
He tried to drive, but he couldn't reach.
Well, this no one can predict, but there's something that we predicted and someone here got it correct.
Oh, well done. Both of you got it correct. I'm still on zero.
Let's have a look at who got where the scores are. Why haven't I moved after 2 wins? I don't get this.
Yeah, and why is DK if you're still at 50%?
DK, is this your first win or you've got one before?
No, I got one before, I think.
Okay.
He's got one before. That's why he's up there.
Interesting. So we have a winner today in the prediction game, not one, but 2 winners. And we had also got in the second super over of the World Cup so far. Very exciting day, very long day because we started a little late, but the excitement kept us up and awake. DK, thank you so much. We know you're far away and we don't know what time it is in this undisclosed location, so we don't want to keep you waiting for too long. Joyda, we will be seeing you tomorrow for another exciting game, so we don't want to keep you waiting for too long either. And we don't want to keep you all waiting for too long either because it has been a fun day when there is such a close game. My nails are always gone, eaten up, so I don't have any more nails left now for the next few games. We will be coming in tomorrow. With the American games, there's always chaos and confusion on what time we are going to be coming. But Canada plays Ireland tomorrow. It is an 8 p.m. game. So we will be here at 7:30 to just make things clear. So do join us tomorrow at 7:30. That's all we have time for right now. Good night and goodbye.